A very good morning to all of you, friends. I'm first of all, I would like to express my happiness that most of you have written very nicely in your test, and I'm really very glad to see that you have done and you have given so much of effort for your self study, and you have organized your chapters, your topics so nicely, and you have written your test very nice. So please keep it up. Okay, organize yourself more, little bit more, and then prepare these lessons because we have to cover a lot of syllabus in a short span of time. Okay, so please give your best. Now today in this video we are going to start about nutrition in animals. Okay, that means we have already done nutrition in amoeba in our classes, okay, when school was open, and we have finished photosynthesis also. So now today's topic is the nutrition in human beings, that means the human alimentary canal. Okay, so nutrition in human beings is also called holozoic mode of nutrition. Okay, holozoic mode of nutrition. So holo means whole, zoic means animals. So we take wholesome food. Okay, we all like amoeba also, we take wholesome food, and then there are certain enzymes which are present in our body that helps in breaking down of those organic substances into simple inorganics so that they can be assimilated by our body. Okay, so that is why such kind of mode of nutrition, of intake of wholesome food and then digesting it, assimilating it, is called holozoic mode of nutrition. Okay, you already know that there are 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, assimilation, absorption, and egestion. Okay, so today we will see the diagram of the human alimentary canal. Okay, the human alimentary canal. Now this human alimentary canal is basically made up of two parts. Okay, the structures, the basic main important structures, and the associated glands or accessory glands that helps in digestion. Got it? So the first one, let us see what are the most important parts of the human alimentary canal. So the human alimentary canal begins with the mouth and ends at the anus. And you'll be astonished to know that this organ is present inside our body, but when it is stretched, it may reach about 9 meters. Can you believe? 9 meters or 29 to 30 feet. So it is quite long, but it is condensed inside our body. Okay, so it starts with the mouth and it ends at the anus. Now the main important parts are definitely the buccal cavity, okay, or the mouth, the buccal cavity or the mouth. Then comes the esophagus or the food pipe. Then is the stomach. Then the small intestine that remains coiled inside the large intestine. Okay, so once again, what are the parts? Mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. These are the main important parts of the human digestive system or human alimentary system. This is also called gut, G-U-T. Okay, starting from here till here, it is also called gut. Now, what are the associated glands which are present? The liver, okay, the gallbladder. So the liver helps in production of bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. Then the pancreas, then the gastric glands. Okay, we have another gland that is called salivary gland. Got it? So what are the associated glands? Once again, let us start with salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and gastric glands. Okay, gastric glands. So two parts of the human alimentary canal, the major important parts and the digestive glands. Okay, please remember, go through your books and find it out. Now once again, let me refer to the diagram. We start with the mouth, isn't it? Now this mouth, as you know, is surrounded by a number of salivary glands. Okay, now there are 3 pairs of salivary glands which are present. So this is our tongue. Just below the tongue there are the sublingual glands. So salivary glands are basically of 3 types. Sublingual, 2 are here. Okay, submaxillary, if you press here you can feel saliva coming out, so submaxillary. And near the ear somewhere here, so parotid. Okay, so sublingual, submaxillary, parotid. The names are not important from the point of view of examination, but you should know that there are 3 pairs of salivary glands which surround this region. Okay, these salivary glands, they help in secretion of saliva. Now saliva, chemical name of saliva is called salivary amylase, old name is ptyalin. Okay, Ptyalin, ptyalin. So ptyalin we don't use nowadays, we use salivary amylase. So please remember, salivary amylase is the chemical that is present in saliva that helps in digestion of carbohydrates. Okay, carbohydrates. So salivary amylase converts carbohydrate like starch into maltase or sugar, simple sugar. So the digestion of carbohydrate starts in our mouth. Okay, which enzyme is present? Salivary amylase. Please remember. Okay, now the salivary amylase helps in digestion of carbohydrates. Also in the mouth, there are some more structures like the teeth and the tongue. Now the teeth, there are 4 types of teeth present. The incisors, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are called incisors. Then the canines, then the premolars, then the molars. Okay, the incisor, they help in biting the food. The canine help in tearing the food. And the premolars and the molars, they help in grinding and crushing of the food. So the teeth, they help in, the mouth basically helps in intake of food, but the teeth, they help in binding, crushing, grinding, etc. Okay, in order to mechanically digest the food. Okay, that is called mechanical, you can say, mastication of the food, so that food is broken down into small particles so that enzymes can act on them. Okay, there is another structure present inside our buccal cavity, that is called the tongue. Now this tongue is a muscular gland, so it has taste buds in it. Those taste buds, they help us to detect the taste, sweet or salty or bitter or sour, isn't it? They also help in, you can say, rolling of the food, okay, so that enzyme salivary amylase can easily act on it, and they also help in swallowing the food, isn't it? So we basically, when you are eating the food, we don't give much effort. It is very automatic, isn't the food slowly moves through the esophagus, that is called peristaltic movement. Okay, now let us see once again. So this is the mouth, this is the buccal cavity, then the food slowly moves through the esophagus. Okay, so now this esophagus basically connects the mouth and the stomach. So the esophagus help in transportation of the food from the mouth to the stomach. Now when the food is moving through the esophagus, there is contraction and relaxation. This is a rhythmic contraction of the muscular wall of the esophagus, that is called peristaltic movement. Okay, this is also a very common question. What is peristaltic movement? So the rhythmic contraction of the, you can say, inner wall of the gut that helps in movement of the food forward is called peristaltic movement or peristalsis. Okay, now after that the food comes to the stomach. The stomach has certain enzymes present in it that helps in digestion of the food. Okay, now inside the stomach there are 3 types of substances which are present. First of all, HCl is present. HCl helps in keeping the medium acidic so that the enzyme pepsin can act on it. Okay, and it also kills some microorganisms which may be present in the food. So HCl is present in the stomach. Pepsin is present. Pepsin is an enzyme that helps in digestion of protein. And there is also mucus present. The function of mucus is to protect the internal wall of the stomach from the action of acid, that is HCl. Okay, so the gastric juice basically consists of 3 types of substances: HCl acid, then we have pepsin and mucus. Okay, and then the digestion of protein, that means starts in the stomach. If the digestion of carbohydrate starts in the mouth, digestion of protein starts in the stomach. After that, the food slowly moves through this region of the stomach and comes to this region. Okay, so this is the first region of small intestine, that is also called duodenum. So small intestine is basically divided into 3 parts. Please listen carefully. Duodenum, okay, jejunum and ileum. So this part, if you see the diagram, this is the duodenum. This part is called the jejunum. Okay, and coming to the bottom near the large intestine, that is called the ileum. So duodenum, jejunum and ileum. These are the 3 parts of the small intestine. Got it? So in this region you can see the bile duct is present that helps in transportation of bile from the gallbladder into the duodenum. Also there is pancreatic duct that helps in transportation of pancreatic juice from the pancreas to the duodenum. Okay. So from here is the small intestine. Please don't get confused, okay? This portion is called the duodenum. It is the first part of the small intestine where both pancreatic juice and bile are secreted. Okay. Now, after that, in the food slowly moves in the jejunum part and then in the ileum part, and after the ileum, then it comes to this region that is called the appendix. Okay, appendix is nothing but a comma shaped organ that is present. Basically, it is known as vestigial organ. It does not have any role in digestion. Okay, and then comes the large intestine. Large intestine again has three parts. If you see this diagram, cecum, close to the appendix is the cecum, then the colon. This whole portion is called colon, and this portion is called rectum. Okay, so three parts of the large intestine are, this is the cecum, okay, then the colon, and then the rectum. So the small intestine has three parts and the large intestine also has three parts. And after the rectum, there is an opening through which the food is expelled out of the body, that is called the anus. Okay, so the alimentary canal basically starts with the mouth and then ends at the anus. Okay, so just now we have studied about the digestion of food in the mouth, and we also now know the digestion food in the stomach. Okay, now after that the food slowly starts moving to the small intestine. Now in the small intestine also there are certain enzymes which are called intestinal juices, which help in you can say complete digestion of the food. So this is a very common question. Okay, what happens to the food in the small intestine and how is it digested? So you will study about the different types of intestinal juices which are present, and also about the villi. The villi means finger-like projections which are present in the internal wall of the small intestine, as well as they are also present in the large intestine. But mind you children, digestion does not take place in the large intestine. In the large intestine, only absorption of water takes place. Okay, so now you know that digestion starts with the mouth. Okay, some digestion or major part of the digestion do take place in the stomach, but complete digestion of food, okay, we have done end products. If you remember in our class, the end products which are formed, those end products are formed here. That is why assimilation and absorption takes place in the small intestine as well as in the large intestine, isn't it? Because these villi are finger-like projections. We will draw their diagrams in our next video, and we will see these finger-like projections, they are connected with blood, okay, blood capillaries. So they help in transfer of all the simplified inorganics that have been formed after digestion. They carry these simplified inorganics to each and every cell of our body, so that during the process of respiration, in presence of oxygen, they can be oxidized to produce energy. That is called assimilation. Okay, assimilation is the production of energy from food during the process of respiration. Okay, internal energy that is produced. So in this video we have studied about the structure of the human alimentary canal. Please draw this structure, okay, punctually in your classwork copies, so that some more topics are there regarding digestion, so you can understand it very nicely. Okay, and in this video we have also completed about what happens to the food in the mouth or the buccal cavity, and what happens to the food in the stomach. Okay, I will make a chart and I will upload it. What are the different types of enzymes which are present in the mouth and the stomach, the small intestine, okay, the pancreas, etc. So we will study about them in our next videos. Okay, so I will upload some notes for you all. Please write them in your classwork copies. Thank you so much for watching this video.